From GTO side, Molly or Juliana, do we waiting? I mean, do we have other folks want to join this call, or we can get started?
At the moment, there are only two of us over here, Sashi.
Okay. From messaging side, I think only Jaga is not joining, right?
Yeah.
Sasi, today is India public holiday, so Vijay and Palash not working, so they will not join. We will share the video later to them.
Yep, sure. Let's see whether we can edit the video file later. Hi, Jaga. So I think we have most of the team. So I don't want to delay and let's get started. So good morning, everyone. I'm Shashi from messaging team.
Morning.
Good morning. So today call is mainly to discuss about the link phone, link common area phone. So we have Murali and Juliana from telecom team. We have messaging L1, messaging L2, and messaging L3. So this is going to be a basic plus some troubleshooting steps. I don't really have a lot of commands for troubleshooting, but based on my experience for past 6 months, I will share what are the issues that we have for the link phone and how we fix those issues. And you guys can share your experience, or if you have any issues ongoing, we can discuss later by end of this training session. So without delay, let's get started. For those in link, I'm going to share my desktop. Anyone in conference bridge but not in link call? I mean, not in online meeting? All right. So I will stop the video in a while because I think it's going to impact my network. Even now I might have some performance issue in my link. Okay, everyone can see my desktop?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay. And you guys can see the video, the phone?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, great. First of all, sorry because it's a last minute preparation and I not cover everything in my slide. So due to some personal error yesterday night, I couldn't complete the slide. But I think I covered most of the requests coming from Mike. And if there's nothing in the slide, then we can discuss later after I go through the slides. So our link common area phone. The short, we call it as CAP, or we call it as link CAP. So the CAP actually stands for common area phone. So what is the common area phone? The common area phone is exactly same as your Avaya phone. For those who never seen the phone before, you just need to connect the Avaya phone to your network, and the phone will get one IP, and you can start to use the phone. Very similar to Avaya, the CAP also you need to connect to network, and you will get the DHCP IP. Then you can start to use the phone. So basically it's IP phone, and the only difference is link phone not really associated with an individual user. That means in Dell we practice to provide the link phone or CAP for those common areas like lobbies, conference room, team room, or operators, but not for the personal users. With one exception, if we have any VP or director who does have a personal assistant, then if they request, based on their request, we might give them the link phone. So they will have in their laptop link client installed, and at the same time they will have another phone beside their laptop, and they can answer their call through the link client using the headset or through the link cap phone. The way to configure the user, like the VP link phone, is a bit different with conference room or the common area phones. I will go through the steps later. So for Dell, we start deploy link last year as part of the connected workplace program, CWP. There are a few sites we move the entire site to link solution. For example, Shanghai. Can't remember the entire. Yeah, Shanghai, Beijing, Hong Kong, Xiamen, I think only the manufacturing, Chengdu, Jakarta, Tianjin, Guangzhou. Yeah, that's it. So all these sites actually they were running on legacy Cisco solution. So there was a plan to upgrade the Cisco to Avaya, but later the business or the management decide the link solution is much cheaper than upgrading them to Avaya. So we deploy link for the entire site. So with the link deployment, we couldn't deploy Avaya phones, so we have to buy the link phone or the cap. So type of the polycom phone that available in Dell for most of the site is CX500, CX600, CX3000. Oh, sorry guys, I was on mute. May I know which one the last sentence you guys heard from me?
It is
X3000.
Okay, so this is CX600. And for my next slide, I have the pictures of CX600, CX500, and CX3000. So the CX500 and CX600 are very similar to personal Avaya phone, and the CX3000 actually it's a conference room phone or the conference Avaya phone. It's very similar to the conference Avaya. This is a closer look of all the CX600. You can see on back of the phone, you have two ports for RJ45. One is from the LAN to the phone, and another one is from the phone to your laptop or desktop. You have a USB port. You have two types of USB. Okay, you have power connector. You have a hole to lock your phone, and these are the basic buttons. The number keypad. This is a link symbol or the button. We show you the status available away, similar as your link client in desktop. You have home button, and the small button here is the enter button. So in case when troubleshooting they want to know what the enter button is, the enter button. And the one on on top is a cancel or revert button. So let's see whether you guys can see in video. Yeah, is that image clear? So you can see the back button, the center one is the enter button, up, down, home. So before moving to the next topic, so far you guys have any question? This is a basic look of the link phone.
No.
Okay, if not, let's move on. Sorry guys, it's a network problem. Do we have everyone in the call? Okay, let me do a.
Yeah,
Do we have Juliana? Do we have Murali? Norain?
Yes.
Okay, I think the link one is have, but not the conference bridge.
I saw the bridge one is on mute, so I'm not sure if they can talk or not.
Murali and Juliana, do you guys Murali and Juliana in call?
Yes, we are here.
Oh, sorry, I have some network issue, so my link was disconnected just now. So I'm going to close my video sharing because it's impacting my network. So the link cap creation. So we thought that we're not going to have a new rooms for new buildings. So we're not expecting a lot of new requests because after we migrate or complete the project for one single site, you should cover all the link phone requests. Recently I found that there are some new requests coming from few sites, I believe is from Shanghai. And I already clarified with Jap Singh, which is a telecom suite L3. And that's because when during the deployment we don't have enough link physical phone. So that's the reason that we are getting new requests after the project deployment. So the reason I'm giving all this is because we don't have a process between the GTA and messaging, or we don't have a form between these two teams to engage each other for the link phone creation. So what we practice for now is user have to submit the form to GTA. GTA need to assign the extension number, and we send an email to our OCS tier, and L2 is supposed to create the account in AD. Once creation is done, we have to respond to the GTA, and GTA will communicate to end user and they will close the request. So in future, after we hand over this to operation, or even now, if you guys receive a lot of requests and Mike, Victor, Jacob, you found that handling this request through the email is an hassle. So please bring a topic for discussion with the management, with me, and we need to identify a proper way or maybe a form how we're going to engage GTA and messaging for the creation.
Sasi, just a question. Are you sharing your screen?
Yes, I do. You can't see, is it?
Yeah, I
No, we
cannot
can't
see.
Okay. Sharing again.
Okay.
Can you see now, Mike?
I think it's connecting, but I cannot see it yet. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I can see it now.
Yes, I can
Yeah,
see
we
it.
can.
Okay. This is my wireless. I'm supposed to use the cable because I'm in a TR room.
Okay.
Yeah. So sorry for that. So this is the process that I mentioned just now, 1 to 4. Any question, guys, from the process? No? Okay, so moving next. Okay, this is how we're going to create a cap in AD. Before I'm touching this topic or this slide, since we have Juliana and Murali, I just want to get a few things from you guys. Are you all aware of the AD and are you familiar with Active Directory or AD? Juliana and Murali?
No, we don't have. I don't think we have the access to create the new contact in AD.
So in terms of knowledge, do you have any basic knowledge on AD? Because the slide I'm going to share with you now is talking about the AD, and if you don't have any knowledge, maybe I might want to share about the AD for a few minutes. So do you want me to cover a bit on AD? Murali and Juliana? Yes, no, please.
Sashi, why not we just go briefly on that one, on the active directory.
Okay, sure. So for any link account or email or anything to do with messaging or anything to do with link, you must have that object exist in AD. So AD is a Microsoft Windows Active Directory. It's a directory system which is have all the object in our Dell is related to user, generic mailbox, or anything which is you can see from Outlook or link. For example, if you open your link client, if you can see all this name actually not coming from link server, it's coming from AD server. If you want to update something, a name or zip or anything, whatever you update here through the link console, actually on the back end, you're going to update the directory system. So far the GTA, I believe, accessing AD only on the column called phone. So if you
Yes,
can see my
Sati.
screen,
Sorry for interrupt. Because we just have the access to update the extension number on the ED. So far that is the only knowledge and the access that we have.
yeah, correct. So if you see my screen, I think you have access to view the AD but not to modify. Actually, you're not updating the column phone in AD, but you're updating that in a PeopleSoft. PeopleSoft actually a different directory owned by Asia. So what the PeopleSoft directory is, it will sync to the Microsoft AD and you'll update the column telephone number whichever you access, whichever you input in the PeopleSoft record. So for the messaging team, if you have any request to update the telephone number, you have to assign that to GTA because this telephone number field actually getting the value from the PeopleSoft. I never tried that before, but from the process itself, if you update something on telephone number here and you're not updating the paper record, when the sync happens, it will override by the record from the PeopleSoft. So for Murali Engineer, this is the AD for Penang, sorry, not for Penang, for Asia Pacific, which have all the info that we need for the link and exchange. For example, for Penang, if I expand the folder, or we call it as OU in AD, and if I go to this folder, mail routing objects, I can see that all the contact that we created for the link phone. So normally we'll have a description called link underscore the country code underscore the site code followed by the unique value for the link phone. You can find the phone number or the extension number, and also you can find the SIP address which is used by the link. The difference with link and normal users is in AD, in exchange term, we call the user link as user link, but the common area phone we call it as a contact. Contact and user is two different terms in AD or in messaging. So how it is different is, if you use your link console, if you go to users, you can find a username, for example, my name. So it's still loading. Okay, you can find my name. But if you want to search for link phone, for example, this is, let me try to find something for Penang. Okay, let's say this CN underscore CTU underscore pilot 26. CN underscore CTU underscore pilot 26. And you couldn't find this object in link console because it was created as contact in AD and not as a user. So just take note of that. You couldn't find link phone or CAP through the link console. The only way you can find or search the phone value is using the link shell. I believe you have access to link server. So if you go to link, log into any link server, you go to link server management shell, you click on that, it will load the console, and you have to use the command get cs common area phone. Cat CS common area phone. So if you run this command, it will give you the entire list of common area phones that we have in Link or in Dell. So for messaging team, so take note of that. And this is the only way that you can query the Link phone. So for example, if you want to know the details of this phone, so run get CS common area phone identity enter. So it will give you all the details about the phone. So this phone registered to this Link pool. When it's enabled, that means it's active. This is the SIP address. This is the client policy applied for the phone. This is the voice policy. This is the conference policy. The display number is the extension number. Okay. So far any question? Juliana, Murali?
No.
Okay. So this is how we create the Link common area phone or the AD contact in Active Directory. We have to run the first command. The first command will create the object in AD. So the important things you need to take note here is, let me move like this. It's easier to show. So you need to know the extension number and also the format, as in country code, site code, and the phone number. Or sometimes we identify as DID, or some of them call it as E164 format. So the E164 format actually stands for country code, site code, and the phone number. And you need to define which are the link pool that you're going to create this account. Okay, since I'm taking example for Shanghai, I'm creating a Shanghai pool. In AD, which are the OU that you want to create this contact. For this, normally we don't have permission to create unless you are from messaging L1. And for messaging L2, I think you have, but for messaging L3, we need to request the account operator permission from the AD team. This is the description, the display name, the display number, and the SIP address. So once you run this command from the Link console, or the Link PowerShell, this will create an account in AD, such as like this, under the mail routing object folders. So once you create the account, wait for a few minutes, maybe 5 or 10 minutes for the AD application. Then you can continue running other 4 commands. The second one is to set the pin. By default, I suggest that we set the pin with this number 112233, so everyone aware that how to troubleshoot and how to key in the pin and what are the pin is when there's something goes on or some request coming from the end users. The third one is to apply the dial plan. So basically you can see all the command on the first half or the first line is very similar, and the second part is different. So this is applying the dial plan, and this is applying the conference policy, this is applying the voice policy, and this is applying for the client policy. Yeah. So basically after you complete step number 1, you have to wait 5 or 10 minutes and you can run all the other commands later. Any question for the creation? So you might wonder why we have so many things. For example, dial plan, conference policy, voice policy, and client policy. I'll explain that in the next slide. So what we do for APG. So take note, these policies are applied for APG, and the US team, they might have a different policy, or maybe they don't want to disable the call forwarding, for example. So we have this policy mainly for the APG users, but in some of the sites in the US, they might try to inherit the policy. So you have to run the command in again, get CS phone extension to see list of policy that we have for the particular phone. During the project deployment, we receive a request from business. They want to disable the call forwarding. Okay, because the phone in conference room or public areas, and they don't want anyone do a call forwarding from that phone to the end phone. So we disable the call forwarding for all the link common area phones, except for VP and directors. They do have a different policy, and we allow them to apply to do the call forwarding. And this policy is very similar like the telecom policy we had last time for Avaya users. So we tried to inherit most of the policies from the Avaya system. So the second policy is the client policy. So what you can see the client policy is this option we call as enable hot desking. So what the enable hot desking does is it will prompt a button in the link phone to allow the users to log off. So without this policy, the user will not have an option to log off from the phone and log in back with their own extension in case if they want to use the link phone from the conference room to make an outbound call to external. So sometimes the user might enter the room, they never bring their laptop, but they do want to have a call to a phone number for external, and we want to allow them to log off from the link phone, the link extension, and to use their personal extension to log in back to the phone. So for that reason, we need to apply client policy, which is we have hot desking enable. So that will allow the user to log off, and after they log in, you'll wait for 3 minutes. If 3 minutes is inactive, and it will log off again the user from the phone. So for messaging team, if you want to get more details for the client policy, try to run the get CS client policy identity APG underscore common area client. The second one is the voice policy. The reason we create the voice policy is to allow the link phone, the CAP, to make only internal calls, not an external calls. So why we going to use, how we apply is through this command. You can say that APJ common area voice and the PS10 usages are internal. So by using the internal PSTN command, we're going to use the phone only for internal calls and not for external calls. The third one is the conference policy. The conference policy actually will disable all the rest of the configuration. For example, attach files, which is not relevant actually for the TR rooms or the conference room. So if you see for common users, or if you see the link console, if you can identify the conference policy, client policy for APJ, you can see these are the settings applied for those settings. So it will disable the PSTN reroute. It will disable the call transfer, call park, delegation, forwarding, malicious call tracking, and so many things. Any question, guys? So I cover the process and also I cover how to create and how to apply the policies.
Sasi, regarding the hot desking timeout setting, so once it reaches the timeout threshold, and it will log off user account, and will it log on back to the CAP setting automatically, or?
Yes, Bara is supposed to log in back, or even sometimes the user take out the cable and plug in back. It will try to get the common extension used for the particular phone, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes the user have to key in the extension and log in back.
Oh, okay.
So what I heard from the on-site is they might have a sticker with the phone extension on the phone. It's a sticker. And also they have a A4 size paper with a guide how to log off and log into the phone. So this was discussed a few months back during the project deployment. Let's see if we run the command. Let's see if we have that. Okay. Let me see what the client policy name. Okay, client common area phone. Let's see. So this is a policy. Okay, and you can see here enable hot desking is true. And the policy name is client-common area phone. Okay, sorry for the comma in my slide. The timeout is actually 10 minutes, not 3 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. So for the messaging L1 or L2, when you receive a request to create the common area phone, I have my commands in one of the link server. Let me ping you the name. If you see my desktop, I have a folder called phone, and I have a all-in-one text file. And if you open the text file, you have the command for the particular site. So what you have to do is Control-H, copy the last 4 digits for the extension, for example, 0282, and replace with the new extension number, for example, XXX. Click replace all. So you replace all the things you need. And the second one is take the display name, take the unique value, replace with the new value, for example, YYTTTTT, and you replace all, and you just need to run the command. So I suggest you guys to create the same textual file in your desktop, keep in your place, and try to have all the site. So far I have I not cover all the site in my text file. So you can create your own text file with covering all the sites. Any question, guys?
Sashi, I have a question. If let's say GTA want to update the extension, they have one polycom site number, but they say this number cannot be used. They want to update to this polycom number to the new extension. So we set a new common area phone, or we just update through the object, or from the AD only?
Okay, that's a good question. So there are a few ways. If you have knowledge on AD, that's why I say if you have basic knowledge, if you click any object properties, this is the phone number they have, your sign, and take note this is the display number, not the configured for the link. But if you go to Attribute Editor, the tab here, you click on that, and you can see all the values start with MSRTCP. This belongs to link. And you can see here the line. This is the number that you're supposed to update if you are using AD. Or you can use the link shell again here. All the commands start with get. Actually, you are trying to get the value. It's just a basic query. You are not going to modify anything with the get. But if you use the set, that means you're going to apply new, you're going to modify. And we can have a command to modify the extension number through the PowerShell. But Juliana, to answer your question, the easy way I will do is to delete the existing record and recreate a new one. That will be much easy compared to go and update all this. Because when you update the extension, it's not only in one area. If you can see here, I'm using the extension here, and so I'm using the extension as a display number here. So you might forget to update all the fields. And if you really know what you're doing, you can use the set command, because if you're wrong, you're going to update and modify some other values and maybe for some other accounts. So if there's any request to update the extension number, the easy way is delete that from the AD. Go to AD, right click and delete as normal. After 10 minutes or 15 minutes, create a new one using the same command that we have for reference. So am I answering your question, Juliana?
Yes, that's what I want to ask.
So if you have confidence to do that, because I don't know whether you have a permission to modify the AD object or to delete the AD object. If you want to try, what you can do, you can share your screen one day with me and we can do together. If you know that you don't have the permission, then you have to send a cut a ticket, or you need to engage the L1 team or the L2 team from messaging.
I guess it was Suriza that asked the question.
Oh, sorry, Suriza. So Suriza, you can share your screen with me. We can try to modify using the set command. And if you think that the set command actually is more difficult compared to delete and recreate, then we can fall back to delete and recreate a new account.
Okay.
Okay. So if you want to use the set command, you just need to replace new here to set. Set CS common area phone, line URI, and this you enter the new values. And go to the end, the display number, you type the new extension number. Actually, it's very easy, but make sure you update the correct extension number. Let me type the command here for you. Let's say in case if you want to use the PowerShell, is the command that you need to use. This is to update the extension number. Okay. So moving next, guys. So troubleshooting, because I would like to cover the troubleshooting, the basic and advanced. The basic need to be done by GTA. So if we have received any incident from end users saying that their link phone doesn't work, these are some of the steps that you want to ask the user to try. First thing, ask them, you can ask them to change the cable. And most of the time, the on-site guys, they know about this step, and most probably they already covered this as they are part of their basic troubleshooting skills. You can ask them to change the network cable, change to a different phone, use the same extension to log into the different phone, or you can use a different extension to log in. Because even though one link extension number, you can log into multiple phones at the same time. There will be no conflict. It's like your link client. You can use your link client in many desktops to log in with your NT account. Step number 4, maybe they're not aware of step number 4. What you can request is just to confirm that the phone receive a correct DHCP IP. You can ask them to go to the menu, go to the system information, screen capture, or type all the values they can see on the screen. So basically you'll have the IP address, DNS, and VLAN. And we can use the VLAN to engage with the telecom security team if you need advanced troubleshooting skills. So for any issues, common area phone, before you escalate to messaging L1, please go through this step with the end users, and please include in the ticket before you reassign to messaging L1 team. Okay, another thing added by James is before after you check everything, you want to include the step to check all the voice policy, client policy that is assigned to the phone by using the link shell command. So moving next, the troubleshooting for messaging team. So what you can do if the issue doesn't resolve by the basic troubleshooting done by GTA or the end user. The first thing is you can try to move the account to different pool. You can simply try to create new account, test with the same phone. If you create this account only for testing, you might need the extension number, and maybe you want to engage with the GTA just to give a temporary extension number for testing. You can try to reset the PIN. After 5 or 10 minutes, ask the user to log in back to the link phone with a new PIN. Step number 4 is consider a worst case scenario. If you think there's something wrong with the server, remove the server, but try to not do it during the peak hours. Try to remove the server off peak hours. And you might want to try the front-end servers in German. That means the issue is for all the SPA in China. So all the SPA in China actually point back to the main pool in German. And let's say if the issue is in Penang, so maybe we have so we may want to try to reboot the FE servers in KUL. Other than that, okay, step number 5. So most of the time you need this step number 5, especially there is some issue with the DHCP server for the particular site or the DHCP VLAN for the particular site. And from my experience for past issues that we have in Taiwan, when Gavin from Taiwan, I believe, when he always report the issue that he couldn't log into the phone, I use the same extension in my link phone in my office, and it always passes. So that is to confirm that the issue is not on link server, not on AD, but it's mainly on the DHCP server, which is assigned the IP for the phone. Step number 6 is standard, just to make sure that we don't have any issue with other link normal users. This is to ensure that the issue is not on the link server, but only focus on CAP.
Hey, Shashi. The number 5, right? So, who should handle that one, the DHCP?
Who should handle the DHCP issue? I will cover in the next slide. But if you want to know who can do this testing, so far I have link phone with me. We do have link phone with Engine, telecom guy. I'm not sure GTA have a link phone. Worst case, if you know one, if I'm not around, Engine, what we can do is try to get someone else from other region to test. Linway, yeah, for Linway from telecom team from China. I think Mike have a contact with Linway, and I prefer that Mike or Jega or GTA. I think you should have one link phone with you. So if you need one phone, try to request from Gyap Singh. If it is need additional cost, then we can talk to Weeping.
Sashi, I think GTA need one because currently we don't have any link phone with us.
Exactly, you should have one. Juliana, how many sites that we have GTA? Do you have only GTA in Cyberjaya or some other sites?
We only have in Cyberjaya.
Yeah, that means I think I will try to talk to Gyap Singh, try to have one link phone for GTA, so you guys can play around and do testing during the troubleshooting.
Okay, that's it. Actually, I have one question. The last troubleshooting, the troubleshoot step that you listed, okay, the final step that you said just now is you need us to check on the PowerShell, right?
For which one? I mean the step, this slide is it? Troubleshooting part 2, is it?
No, the additional troubleshoot for GTE. I heard that you asked us to check on the PowerShell. I think we don't have the access on the PowerShell. So.
Oh, okay. The one that mentioned that. Okay. James, GTA don't have the access to PowerShell to check the client setting and everything. It's a good question, Juliana. So, Juliana, do you have you never accessed the shell before, right?
Yes.
Hey, Shashi. Yep. Yeah, just want to check with Juliana. So, do you guys work on the soft phone, right? Soft phone, enable soft phone for users?
Yes.
Okay, how do you guys do that? You guys actually log into the link server, right?
Yes, we log into both link server and the
sorry to interrupt. Is a link server or you're using the internet browser from your device?
Sorry, Sashi, I can't hear you.
I think you have we have a break sound. Jaga asked a question. Do you log into the link server or using a browser from your PC to access the link console?
We use the IE from our systems to access the link console, and we do also log into the remote desktop.
Yeah, so you want to continue? They have access to
so last time Atos actually set up a server for you guys, right? The link server.
Yes.
Am I right? Yeah, okay. So in that link server, I guess there is a link shell and also the console. Have you guys seen that before?
We haven't touched on it before, maybe because all this while we log into the link server and we enable users exchange from that system.
Okay.
So, Jaga, are you expecting for them to provide the logs, or because even though they run the command, they will get to know what are the clients, and let's say they miss one of the policy, for example, client policy. Are we going to ask them to apply the policy, or we need to apply the policy? Yeah, maybe we can bring this offline with James and everyone. And if you need, by the process, if GTA should apply the policy, then I might have a different training on the shell command to GTA. But we should, if you decide that we should check the policy and apply the policy, then the one that I mentioned just now, the additional point number 5 to check the policy, that can handled by messaging team, not the GTA. Okay? So let's have an offline discussion later with James on the step number 5. And Juliana, I will update you guys once I have the answer from everyone from messaging. And maybe if there's some changes, then I will include you guys for discussion and also your manager.
Okay.
So this is for the messaging team. So the step number 5, I think I answered just now. Step number 6. Moving on to step number troubleshooting 3, step number 7 and 8. Try to get the users from the local site to access the front end URL. So if you have a different main pool, then just replace the pool name over here, insert the KUL or whatever the main pool name, but followed by the same command on the back. If they don't have access to this URL, that means there's something wrong with the permission or something wrong with to access the server. You might want to ping the server or telnet to the port 443. And another command that you can use is to run the test CS from Bootstrap. I'm going to show this command. Okay, sorry, we already at 10:30. But in case you have anything you want to drop, you can drop now. You can call me later. But you can please remain for another 5 or 10 minutes. I will try to complete the last few slides, 1 or 2 slides. Let's see. Okay. If you see here, I'm going to run this command test phone bootstrap phone extension, just key in the extension number, and you should know the pin number. So the default is 112233. So that's why I say that when you create the phone, the cap, try to have the same pin number for all the accounts. So sometimes the end user might change the pin number, so you have to reset the pin. So when you run the command, it will give you all the log file. And you might see some error message. Is something wrong mainly on accessing the web service, like what I'm seeing here. You're trying to connect the web service, the cert, and the most important is you have to see the last portion of the command. Okay? See this one error, no response received, forget. You don't need to take this error as a serious, because what we need from this command is the log file, whether you can access the service, the URL, and so on. The same command you can run with additional verbose. It will give you more details. I have that command in the slide, so you need to worry about the command. Okay, you can see that there are a lot of warning messages here. But this is not an error. You can see that, okay, DHCP discovery is the success. That means it's okay with the DHCP server. So you just need to read the log file. You couldn't get much from the command because every time you run this command, you see this error message. So even though this 863.2001 is the extension that I'm logging now to my link phone, and it's working fine now. You can see there's error message here, but actually it's not error. Actually, it's a warning message for the cert. Okay, actually it's targeting to the KUL register. This is the only command that we have in link shell to test the cap or the phone bootstrap. Moving next, the DHCP. Okay, this is all I mentioned just now. I don't have time to update the slide. For DHCP, so far all the link issues that I encounter is from Taiwan. Most of the time he will complain that he couldn't log into any phone. If you have 100 phone on the first day, only 4 phone doesn't work. It's log off a session. But the next day it will be another 5 or 10 phones. And if you like 1 week, you can say like all the phones is not working, couldn't log into the phone. So when something goes wrong with the DHCP, as you know that the client getting the DHCP, so when you log off and log in back, you try to get the new IP. But if your phone is already logged into network, it will not impact the phone. So sometimes it will take 3 or 4 days for the user realize that something wrong with the phone or something wrong with the DHCP setting. I have a different file in my guide, which I mentioned page number slide number 1. These are the basic troubleshooting, and there's one portion here called successful result. So the first thing to note is you need to run the command to check the DHCP. Do I have the command here? Okay, the command is here. dhcputil.exe-emule client, emulate client. You need to download this exe file. Mostly you can find the exe file from link server, or you can download from internet. And you have to run this from the same VLAN the phone connected to. That means if the issue is from Taiwan, you need to ask one of the Taiwan users to test from the machine. Okay, when they run the command, these are the result which is successful and there's no issue with the cap. Okay, and I highlight one in red below in red because most of the time we've seen the issue in Taiwan because this URL is changed every time they reboot the DHCP server during the patch. So to answer Jaga's question just now, who owns the DHCP? It's a gray area. We don't own the DHCP server because it's a network device. As is the network device, telecom team also not own the network DHCP server. But we need the DHCP server because that's how the telecom designed last time the wire and now the link. We don't have a static IP for wire phone, or we don't have a static IP for link phone. We have to get it from DHCP. So it's still a gray area who's supposed to own the DHCP server. We need to have a lot of discussion to discuss that. But meanwhile, whenever you have received an issue from Taiwan, especially for DHCP issue, run this command from the user side. Check the one in green, and obviously check the last portion of the log file for the certificate provisioning service URL. Most of the time, I think they are missing the SVC. It's just something like that, cert provisioning service without .svc. So we need to ask the Linway or Engine or MIFI to go and update the DHCP scope for the particular site.
Sasi, so this is the setting on the DHCP, right?
Yes. This is the the command you have to run from the client machine, but the command actually trying to grab all the settings from the DHCP server.
Okay.
Okay, let me see if I have any latest issue for Taiwan. Actually, if you see Gavin, he knows already the issue. Cert. Okay, you see here. Previously, the issue is cert provision.svc. It's supposed to be cert provisioning service.svc. So, just to make sure that the words here in URL exactly must be 100% same that what I have in my document here. I think that's all I have for troubleshooting. So you guys have any questions regarding the common area phone? I will update the final slide before I'm sending it to you.
I think last time we request the user to gather the tracing log from the polyphone. I'm not sure if user can get the tracing log from the polyphone.
Actually, if you go to the CAP menu, you can find send log, and you can set it to off, low, medium, and high. Okay. But the thing is,
you mean the menu of the phone?
Yeah, menu of the phone. You go to menu. Mike, do you have a phone with you?
No.
Okay. So if you go to menu, there's option for you to send log. You click the send logs. You will go for the settings, whether off, low, medium, or high. You can set it to high. Then you try to log off or unplug the network cable, plug in back, and you can try to send. But the issue now is, I don't think so. We receive. Let me see. I tried to send one just now. From my experience, we don't receive a log file which contain all the transaction. How you're trying to log into the server. We don't find any. It's just like the simple things, link phone, like that. So we couldn't find value information from the log file.
Okay.
So to answer your question, that doesn't work to fix our issue.
Okay.
And Microsoft don't have any virtual or emulator for the CAP phone yet. I don't know whether they have a plan to release one in next version. Last thing, I have two guides here. I'm going to send this to you later. One is how to configure the common area phone. The same PowerShell command that I explained just now, that I have a copy in the server. And you can go through this and get a basic understanding. And here I have screenshot how you can log in to the phone using the extension number. So it have all the steps for the end users. And also I have different guide for end users, how to configure the common area phone. So how to reset the pin.
Actually, I have a question regarding this document.
Okay.
So before we use our link account to log on a CIP, and we need to set our PIN from the link, right?
Yes. So that is for the normal users. If let's say I plan to use my Fashi Ravi to log into any link phone, I need to know my PIN number. If I do not know my PIN number, this is a way for you to get the PIN. So log into your link client from a desktop. Dial in conference setting. Okay, this option I'm not sure is available for all the users. Since I have this option, I capture the document using this tab. But you guys maybe want to try. If you didn't find this, there's another way. If you have a calendar, new online meeting, see whether you have dial-in pin here. See, this is your pin. You can try to set the pin from here also.
Yep. So my question is, when you try to log on into the CAP with your own link account, and it seems that it asks you to reset the pin again, according to the snapshot you take in this document.
Step number 4, is it?
No, scroll down. It's the log on in the CAP form. Slow down, and down.
You want to continue?
Yeah, continue. Yeah.
Press no before you can repeat.
Yeah, and here you put it. Yeah, and then you go down more and.
Oh, you're asking for new pin, is it?
Yeah.
Most probably because similar like AD, when you log into the first time, you have to reset your pin. Maybe the option is enabled on the link server. I need to check on that. It's a good point, but I can check on that. If there is one, it's very similar. Like even though for UM server, if you reset the pin, there's option ask the user to reset pin after first time login.
Okay.
Okay. Any other question, Mike?
Yeah, actually I have another question.
Yes, go.
Yes, so just now you mentioned that we also create contact for some SQT, I mean members for a phone. What kind of name should they be? I mean, because for the CAP we have the naming convention for the CAP, but for the phone for users, do we need to create another contact or?
Okay. Okay. Let me see whether I can share my screen. Sorry guys, I'm taking a lot of time from you. It's a good question. I don't think so. We can have a different session. So let me try to cover. I'm trying to launch my video, so I can show you that. So, guys, can you see the screen over here? Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Can you see the menu? Test menu and user sign in?
It's not very clear.
Okay. This is menu. This is user sign in. Okay. So I'm going to unplug the network cable. Okay, I'm going to take out the network cable. So it's off now. Let me try to plug in back the cable LAN. What I'm trying to show you is how the user can log into the link phone. So the comparison between the link user and the CAP phone, the common area phone. So it's launching the link window. Okay, there's the link main menu. It's the Microsoft Link Phone Edition. So my question just now is the first during the first slide I mentioned to you that we can use the phone to log in through the CAP common area phone, or some VP or director would like to log into the phone with the extension. So I'm trying to cover that now. So what the console doing is trying to sign in to link server. Okay, see, it's already logging back to my. Let me try to So what you can see here, user sign in. I'm going to click the user sign in. So there's a screen say, user sign in enable you to sign into this phone with your own credential. Do you want to continue? I'm going to click yes. So you're going to say signing out. Okay. So now this is the first prompt for the screen, first page of the screen. Before you can use this phone, you will be guided through a short setup process. Do you have a computer available to simplify setup and enable all features on this phone? That means if you have a desktop configured with Link, and even though you do need to have a network cable to connect the phone through the network, but you can connect through the USB port. So if you have connect through the USB port, if you click yes, it will download all the link setting from your desktop without the network IP. So this is, if you need to click yes, if you have USB between your laptop and also between the phone. If you know, just click no. Click no. So you say enter your extension of phone number. So for normal users like director and FPs, they have to enter their extension number. Let's say mine 8635777 next. So it will ask you enter your PIN for the extension number. I don't know what is my extension PIN number. Let me see if I can reset my PIN number. And I don't know how long it takes to replicate. I don't know. It's my own. Okay, Mike. For your answer your question just now, you have to use your personal extension number, and the link authentication based on the user profile, not for the contact profile.
So you mean for those users who have the phone with them, they are not using the contact, they're using their own link account.
Yes, correct, exactly.
Oh, okay, I see. I thought they are using another contact, like CAP to log in.
Shashi, I have one question.
Yep.
From the top of the question of Mike, let's say user need have the extension and go to the polycom and sign in their extension in the polycom, right? Okay, so the extension user was different with the polycom extension, right?
Okay, I'd like to take this scenario. I say my extension Shashi is 86. Okay, just give me a minute. Phone number configured to you, please. I couldn't. Okay, I think it's going to take a long time to set my PIN. Let me check it. Okay, let's say this is my CAP phone in TR room, which the extension is. Okay, and this is. I hope you guys seeing my desktop. Suiza, right? You are the one who asked the question just now, right?
Yes.
Can you see my desktop?
Yes.
Okay, so let's say I have two extension number now. One is for the TR room and another one is for my personal. By default, all the common area phone log into the default number or the link cap contact we have in AD with this number 863.51111. But when I log into I will go into the room and it say if I want to use my personal extension number, I will find an option called log off or user sign in. I will click the button to user sign in. Then I need to key in my own extension, which is I have my link console. So to answer my question just now, we does not require a different contact for us, for the normal users to log into Link phone, but we can make use of our existing extension. The reason we create a contact for Link phone because we need the object exist in AD. Do you get my point?
Yes. So it means let's say the TR was not contact with the server, but your extension was contact with the FE server. In the contact.
I couldn't get your question.
It means, okay, if you sign in, okay, I sign in with Shashi Ref extension number, right? So
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Let's say, okay, Shashi sign in the extension number. So
sorry, I couldn't hear you just now, the first part. I think you're breaking. Can you repeat your question again?
Okay, for let's say I'm assigning my extension number to the polycom.
Okay.
So I troubleshoot my extension or the polycom extension if the extension cannot call out.
Okay. So for all the link phone in APJ, just remember that so far we not try to deploy link phone for users. We only deploy phone for common areas. So if you have any issue with the cap and you need to troubleshoot, don't try to assign your personal extension to the phone. Okay, try to get another extension which is assigned to cap, maybe from different site or different cap from the same site.
Shashi, we think we lost your desktop already.
Maybe because of my video. Maybe I will close my video. So just to go to the mail routing object, you can take any other contact to log in, or you can take other contact from different site. For example, if you have issue with the cap in Penang, you want to try with a different extension, you can go to Shanghai, go to the routing objects, take one of the extension for testing. But do not use your personal extension for this testing. Because you might get a different result. Do I answer your question, Teresa, or it's still not clear?
Yes. That's in my question.
How about Mike? Mike, did you answer your questions now?
Yep.
So for the personal user, if director they want to configure link client, they have two options: whether they use the USB cable to connect straight to your desktop, or they have to reset their pin first. Then they just need to key in the extension number followed by the PIN number to log in. And that extension number is exactly the same that what they are using in the link client in desktop, and it's the same object in AD, the user object. No, I could not have contact. Okay, any other question, guys? Okay, if there's no questions, thanks for your time, and sorry to take more than half an hour from the actual schedule. I will update the slide number 13 for the troubleshooting DHCP, and I'll zip and send you the entire documents to you guys.
Okay, thank you, Shashi.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Thank you, Shashi.
Thank you, Shashi.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks,
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Shashi.
Thanks, bye, Shashi.